she said something. It triggered something in you.
Yeah.
And your response was violence.
Yeah. But in that instance, I would first start with the atmosphere of that person, the aura.
Oh, okay, yes.
The aura of that person.
The aura of that person.
Because then I would say you have stains and they've created a film and you find it okay to be violent.
Yes.
To respond to disrespect.
Yes.
So something has compounded in you.
Inside of you
to create that aura.
The Sapiosexual Platter.
Here's a thought. You're not experiencing life as it really is. You are not seeing life as it really is. You're experiencing and seeing life through accumulated emotional residue. Every unregulated reaction forms residue. The residue becomes a film. The films become a stain. And before you know it, you're not responding to life as it is, but you're responding to it through layers of the past. Today on the pod, we are unpacking emotional regulation and aura cleansing. My name is Shatani Somalakai.
And I am Belse Abo Ame.
Welcome to the Sapiosexual Platter.
I think the great starting point with this conversation is really just understanding the terms.
Yes.
Yeah.
We dropped some terms there.
We dropped some terms.
Oh, I did with the intro.
Yeah.
But yeah. Emotional regulation.
Emotional regulation.
What is emotional regulation? Savant.
Emotional regulation. I think the summary of it for me would be nervous system mastery. Just nutshell, nervous system mastery. Because nervous system conversation has been, I think that's been so trendy on social media. How does this make my nervous system feel?
Yeah.
Oh, my nervous system never felt safety, so I'm on an alert. No. Like, it's so trendy, but I don't know if people really understand in depth what makes the nervous system unregulated or unmastered, what triggers the nervous system, and how is it even related to our emotions?
For sure.
Yeah.
I also think people underestimate emotional regulation.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're able to make the connection between emotional regulation and the experience that we're having on a personal level in relationships, as well as experiences we're having even at a national level. That a lot of it has to do with emotional regulation, one, and two, that you actually have power over it. Yeah. Because I think the trend, as you say, it's emotional regulation from the experience of feeling, but not the experience of having the power to actually do something about it and actually become an emotionally regulated person. Yeah.
So emotional regulation, I've noted here that it's the ability to experience emotions without projecting them outward, without suppressing them inward, without being hijacked by those emotions, and then replaying over and over again a certain ideology based on how you are processing what you are experiencing. Yeah. So it's just to feel the emotion without being hijacked by it, without projecting it, without suppressing it, and then moving from a place of clarity and knowing in relation to the circumstances. You know? Yeah.
I think having responsibility.
Yes.
I think for me that sums up appreciating from the onset that you have responsibility. So this isn't nice. I don't like it. Yeah. I'm feeling it. Yeah. Right? And then I am processing it. Yes. And then I am understanding it. Yes. I'm outlining different ways of responding and reacting. And then I finally respond in a way that is aligned with who I am, what I'm about, and what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're having this conversation.
Oh, I feel like a teacher.
You are. You really are. The reason why we are having this conversation is that ultimately all the different emotions that you feel
Yeah.
end up influencing your thought process.
Yes.
And then as they influence your thought process over time, the compound of it is it creates that stain that you talked about, stain on ourselves, on our atmosphere, on our being. And then that stain influences the film of how we perceive life.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why we're having this conversation to say, okay, emotional regulation, what is it? Okay, it's nervous system mastery. Why is it relevant? It creates or affects the premise in which you conceptualize life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give examples.
Okay.
Because I think we're sounding like professors right now.
Yes.
So now let's break it down so that people can appreciate the concept of emotional regulation in day-to-day life.
Yeah.
You're in a relationship, and let's actually take it down to GBV, because I think it's actually very much related to that. You're in a relationship, your girlfriend says something that you feel is disrespectful, and then you take a stone and you hit her with it.
Yeah.
What is actually happening in that situation? Connecting it to emotional regulation.
Yeah.
She said something. It triggered something in you.
Yeah.
And your response was violence.
Yeah.
Let's backtrack to say, if somebody was emotionally regulated, what would happen instead?
I don't know even if it's emotional regulation in that regard.
Is it?
No, it is an aspect of it, but in that instance, I would first start with the atmosphere of that person, the aura.
Oh, okay, yes.
The aura of that
The aura of that person.
Because then I would say you have stains and they've created a film and you find it okay to be violent,
Yes.
to respond to disrespect.
Yes.
So something has compounded in you.
Inside of you.
Inside of you to create that aura.
100%.
Yeah. And then now, and that's why we're having this conversation to say, okay, emotional regulation, the dysregulations of your emotions ends up compounding to a compromised aura.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I like it because I feel like we're on the same page, but we're doing the equation different.
Yes.
I'm doing from the front to the back, you're doing back to the front.
Yes.
So the story then we adjusted to say the people in the relationship, who are they? One is a man whose life
Yes.
has compounded to a place where when certain things are said, he experiences them as disrespect, experiences it as a threat.
And also, the premise from which he acts, he's learned that behavior from
He's learned that behavior.
Yes.
So he's compounded into somebody who experiences certain things as threats, as something to react and violently to, or has learned that this is how you react or respond to life.
Exactly.
So that's his aura.
Exactly.
Then a girl says something which everyone else thinks that's quite innocent. It's something typical of a woman to say.
Yeah.
Because we are known to be quite venomous, but typically you expect that every now and then, if you're a female, you are gonna say something, and instead of going my mabo next time or it's like
Yeah.
and then all of us, when we then perceive that situation, we go, wow, that was a very the response was not proportionate to the offense. Like how did this equal that?
Yeah.
And then you realize that's a situation where there was disproportional emotional regulation. Yeah. I'm just trying to give examples to say this is why it's an important conversation. GBV context. Why are we so angry when our leaders say certain things? If you look at Facebook and the responses, sometimes you're like, okay, this leader said that. You go and watch the video, and sometimes you agree with the leader. You're like, okay, I understand and I see the merit of this.
Yeah.
when you then see what people have said, you're like, how did this equals that response? And then so back to the way that you are kind of scientifically breaking it down, our emotional stain, our aura as a nation,
The compound.
the compound of different experiences that we've had with different people in power, from Khama to Masisi,
And how we process
and
them.
how we process them. And now you have a current government where everything is being processed through the length of previous experiences, and there's no proportionality.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this happened, but then we're all screaming. Why are we wait, is this what's actually happening
Yeah.
on the ground reality right now?
I like that example because I even think beyond just how we process things as a nation, it's like how it then ends up influencing our decision-making process.
Yes.
Because we're now operating from a place of immense emotion.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, because it's so unregulated,
Yeah.
you end up collectively as a nation not making the best decisions in different things.
In different arenas. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's very important to talk about this, because I think now when we take it to the nervous system, just encouraging people to actually find out about themselves. Because one of the things that make me feel the limitation of education and how it's been structured is the inability to actually be given time to focus on the things that influence what it means to be a human being. So it's like, if we all have a mind, why are we not spending lengthy periods of time at school teaching children about the mind or people about the mind? If emotional regulation affects critical aspects of our lives because we are such emotional creatures, why don't we take time to understand emotions? Like, when somebody is actually emoting, what is scientifically happening inside? If it's related to the nervous system, what is actually happening in the nervous system? Because for me, the nervous system and the brain, like the brain and the spine, are one. They make up the nervous system.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't we understand the spine? Why don't we understand the brain? All these different organs that make up the nervous system. Because surely, if I understand what body part of the nervous system or of the body influences my feelings or regulates how I'm feeling, is responsible for feeling, and what part is responsible for regulating, then I would have better understanding of when I am emoting. I can be like, oh, actually, my nervous system is activated.
Yeah.
Okay, there goes my amygdala, there goes my limbic system,
Yeah.
there goes my prefrontal cortex.
Yeah.
So I want us to get a little bit into that, like the science of emotion when we look at the nervous system.
Yeah.
To say, now I'm going to teach y'all.
By the way, she was a mad genius of biology, so you're taking me back to, like, you really love this stuff. Just that we were learning, like, abdomen, thorax, whatnot, but she was. But now that you're like, I'm like, actually, I remember you like breaking down biological concepts for me. But yeah, yes, please teach us.
I'm like, in biology, why are you not teaching us about the brain?
Yeah.
Why are you not teaching
like a
us
serious lesson, not just identification of body parts, because I think that's where it was limited to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even for me, my memory of biology, I don't even think ever in the education system we ever got to the brain. The nervous
Like,
system,
seriously,
the things
no.
that are relevant
No.
to our critical functioning as human beings.
Yeah.
So now when you look at the nervous system and when you look at emotional regulation, the part of the body that is responsible for feeling or emotions is called the limbic system.
Yeah.
But more importantly, within the limbic system, there's what you call an amygdala.
Yeah.
So when you are having a stimulus, the amygdala is going to process that stimulus.
So stimulus is it's an event or an occurrence.
Yes.
Stimuli is, in the example I gave of the boyfriend and the girlfriend says something that is disrespectful. So we would call that stimuli.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the amygdala, what is going to answer? One question. Is this dangerous?
Yeah.
Is this flight or fight?
Yeah.
You know, is this safe?
Yeah.
So once your amygdala goes, oh my God, this is not safe, it's going to activate the sympathetic nervous system, which is now, what are we doing with
Is
this?
it the lymphatic or the sympathetic nervous
The
system?
sympathetic
Okay.
nervous system. It's going to raise your heart rate, release cortisol within your body. and then you're going to make a decision based off that key question.
Yeah.
Is this dangerous? But in order to override whatever your amygdala is now projecting you to do, because it's trying to keep your body safe. The amygdala is saying, if this is dangerous, let's get you to safety.
Yeah.
So it's going to analyze the environment, raise your heart rate, increase your cortisol levels, because it's preparing your body to respond, to react to what is happening.
Yeah.
But then you would find that when that process is happening, you either regurgitate the story that you're experiencing. You tell yourself a story. Instead of saying, this is the reality I'm experiencing, you tell yourself a story. And that story is going to be based on what? The
compound of
your aura.
Your aura of the different experiences you've accumulated throughout your life.
Thank you.
Or until the point of the stimuli.
Thank you. So your amygdala doesn't care about your context, your nuances, long-term consequences, reputation, moral integrity.
Yeah.
Like, it just only cares about your survival. Like, what are we doing to survive?
Yeah.
So now what happens if you want to regulate? You have to activate the executive regulator. And the executive regulator is the prefrontal cortex.
Okay.
The prefrontal cortex is the one that, when we look at the evolution of a human being, by the time you are 3 years of age, is developed to 85%. The time it gets to 100% is by the time that you're 25.
Yeah.
Where we say, now you have developed your prefrontal cortex to 100% and it influences your logical reasoning.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you want to override the amygdala when it says, is this safe? How do I keep this person in survival?
Yeah.
You have to activate the executive regulator, which is the prefrontal cortex, to say, am I seeing this right? I'm in class right now. You can see the director is looking at me like, hey, this girl is spitting stuff, you know? So it's the rational thinker, it's the moral reasoner, it's the long-term planner, it's the empathetic aspect of us. That's the
Prefrontal
prefrontal cortex. So that's the one that's going to come in and say, wait on a minute. Are you seeing this right? What is the specific emotion that you're experiencing? Because once you name that emotion, it helps the amygdala, because it's not then going. It's now able to say, okay, this is the thing that I'm experiencing. And once you rationalize it for the amygdala, then you're able to calm down and actually process it or deal with it from a very logical place. I don't know if you got what I'm saying.
I mean, this just reminds me of when I was learning about all of this stuff and how obsessed I was.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're interested in learning about this stuff, you know, check out Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has a book called Evolve Your Brain. It's actually the most simple. The other one's are a bit more complex, but that's a very simple one. You can go online. He has lectures. He just explains this like, you know, line by line, and I love it.
Yeah.
And so that's, imagine if you understood the science of your mind and your body and how you react to things, how much more powerful you would be.
Yeah.
And how much more responsibility you can take over your life, and how you can actually change things that people say are hardwired.
Yeah.
Because we give up in life, you know.
Yeah.
We give up because our identity is premised on this accumulation of aura that we have compounded. And we give up. We don't think that we can present a better version of ourselves to people. Yeah. Because now it's like, I am just a violent person. I am just a neurotic person. This is just how I am. And we accept that about other people. And we even project that onto them. No, they'll forever be like that. But when you understand science, you're like, hold on a second. So I see that you're violent, or you have a predisposition to violence because of what is in your, your amygdala? Yeah. And the way that you have experienced life that teaches you that this experience is a flight or flight, when it has absolutely nothing to do with that. When or maybe they come from a place where those words are not, those words don't necessarily
carry the same
weight. And so just even learning to be open-minded enough to be like, my reality is not your reality. It is different realities. Yeah. And just being open-minded enough so that by the time that you finally respond, you're responding from a very informed lens. And you're really responding to exactly what is happening right now.
Yeah.
And not the accumulation of experiences that you have accumulated.
Yeah.
Some of which are not even realistic or a reflection of reality, the million types of reality that exist in the world. Just that narrow, limited one that you have because of your upbringing. So
yeah, I love
very
that
powerful.
because I feel like what you just said is so powerful in the sense that it summarizes these different scientific parts of the nervous system that we just spoke about, in the sense of the amygdala, when it questions to say, is this dangerous? The prefrontal cortex comes in to say, is this the wisest decision that you're making in your response? You know. So I love what you said, because it's about wisdom. It's just about asking your brain, asking your prefrontal cortex that this is what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
How about, and direct it, because it understands instructions to say, how about you give me the wisest decision to make out of this moment? And then another thing that came to mind when you were speaking and you said aura, I was like, it'll be nice for the viewer to understand if we can define what is an aura.
What is an aura?
Because we spoke about emotional regulation, but we didn't speak so much about what is aura. What is aura? Aura for me, and from the things that I've been learning, it's a compound of your belief system. Your belief system that is created by your thoughts, and your thoughts in collaboration with your emotions create a state of being. As Joe Dispenza will say, like your thoughts and feelings create a state of being.
Yeah.
And then eventually that state of being becomes the belief system, and belief system is the framework that you use to experience life. And then aura is that your belief system, your emotional patterns, and your internal dialogue. Self-talk. When you experience that trigger or that external experience, how do you talk about it within yourself? Because you can pause or not react immediately, but like the rumination and the different talks that you have internally about you accumulate within yourself. So you may respond to what you experience very well, like a very good response, very measured response. And then walk away from that. We can look at you and be like, wow, you're so emotionally regulated. That was really good response that you gave there. And then you go to your own little corner alone, and then you just narrate in the most negative way. So I think just that accumulation of the belief system, your emotional patterns, and the self-talk ends up compounding over time to create an atmosphere around you. And that's the atmosphere we then call the aura, because it's like from this atmosphere, the compound of it is where you then are the active neurons. If we're going to take it to the science, they are the active neurons in your energetical field. That when something is triggered, those neurons are the ones that are activated because they are the most dominant ones, the most clear ones, the ones that your brain has visited many times.
That's great. I love that. It also explains why you do things and you don't get the response that you want.
Okay.
So aura for me, like, it's energy, right? And I love how you've just kind of broken it down to be like, this is accumulation of your thoughts, your belief systems, self-talk, all of these things. And it's like, you can't, because we're all energetical beings, we're responding to each other's energy and aura at any given point in time.
Clock it.
So you can say this, but we feel your aura. And this is why
that's why it's about toast.
That's why you can dress up a little society. Otherwise, you're going to some restaurant. And you're going to pick up you hope to pick up or to be picked up by or to be noticed by
Yeah.
men or or people that you like, because we're open-minded here. So you're a girl, you go out thinking, you know what, today I'm gonna attract somebody, mating potential. And then you sit there, but ain't nobody coming to your table, ain't nobody buying you drinks.
Yeah.
Nothing. Then the girl, she didn't put on any makeup.
Yeah.
We get
You
know, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
but we just see that this person just, basically took a bath.
Yeah.
Right? And then walks in and every man is sniffing her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, clearly her aura, her belief system about herself, what she thinks, what she's accumulated. I am the girl. So regardless of whether I have this regalia on, you are going to experience my aura.
Yeah.
And so you can't override that with physical things that people, whether it's what you say, what you do, it's what you could go for a job interview. And it's like, if your aura is, I get rejected, I'm not good enough, you can say all the right things in the interview.
Yeah.
They'll be like, yeah, they said the right things.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't even know that's what they're experiencing, the people who are interviewing you. It'll be interesting because if we send the paperwork, it'll be like, this person looks good on paper.
Yeah.
But when we experience them, we experience their aura, we experience their self-sabotage, we experienced. So, it's the criminal who decides, I'm not going to steal anymore. I'm going to be violent anymore.
Yeah.
Walks into a room and we become really tense, like, oh my gosh, what's happening?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you've built such an aura of violence around you that even when you've decided to change, we are all experiencing your violence. So, I'm taking my bag, I'm leaving. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
something is telling me. My nervous system is sensing your energetical field and it's telling me, hey, why? Because I think we tend to neglect that. It's like how we would say that people are magnetic. They're magnets.
Yeah.
And then it's like, a magnet has a field around it.
Science.
And that's what it uses to draw other metals.
Yes.
So therefore, if we have electric current in us, because we are electrical beings and we are also magnetic beings, and that's why they often refer to the electromagnetic nature of our being, and it's related to our nervous system because the way that neurons communicate with one another, electricity,
Quite literally.
Yeah. So now your nervous system is the one that sends out your electromagnetic wave.
Yeah.
So the science of it is that your electromagnetic wave is sending out messages.
Yeah.
And other people's sense of different electromagnetic waves is tapping into it.
Yeah.
Devoid of logic, just mere existence and intuition. My nervous system is sensing your nervous system.
Yeah.
And the electromagnetic wave or field that is around you. And my nervous system is saying, this is not a person to be safe around, or this is a person to be highly guarded around. You are downloading that information from that. So yeah, I just wanted to give that bit of a breakdown in relation to that.
Yeah.
How then does one cleanse the aura?
Breathe in.
Yeah.
Breathe out.
Because for me, this conversation is so important because at a point recently, I actually realized that when it comes to creating the reality that you want or manifesting the reality that you want to manifest, you can have the right qualifications, be the right body size, the right whatever. But fundamentally, if there's a breach in your electromagnetic wave, we are all energy.
Lebala.
Forget it. You have to either clear what is in that field that's creating the compromise from experiencing reality the way that you really want to experience reality.
100%.
So it's just like, no amount of decision making that you make, no amount of money that you compound, no amount of anything is going to deal with the fact that your field, when we enter it, we're like, or heavy. I don't want to spend enough time with that person. And you may be the best or a good person, but fundamentally, you try to present as the best person, but you're people pleasing. but your energy on hella is highly compromised. Yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen on TV, and all these like spiritualists bringing in incense, sage. I do sage, but it's aura cleansing is actually much deeper than incense and crystals.
Yeah.
What is it, Savant? What is aura cleansing? I really feel like this is your topic because you're big on this.
I've been so passionate about this topic.
Aura. Yeah.
I think aura cleansing is it's nervous system reset. It's a nervous system reset, and that's the biggest starting point when it comes to aura cleansing. It's like realizing that your nervous system is possibly in survival mode.
Yeah.
Because majority of the time you're in that relationship that's making you feel unsafe. The compound of the years of that relationship that's making you unsafe. You're in a job that you don't like or in a work environment that you don't like. And every instant your amygdala is activated.
Yeah.
And then you end up in a state of deep survival because your nervous system is always emitting cortisol and stress.
Yeah.
So I'm like, first and foremost, it's just nervous system reset. How do we nervous system reset? I just think slowing down. Slowing down and breathe in and out. Meditate. Yeah. Slow down and just meditate.
Yeah.
Just breathe into that nervous system.
Yeah.
Set the intention that I want to reset the nervous system to a point of safety.
Yeah.
Because I think then when you get the nervous system to that point of safety, all other things begin to fall into place.
For sure. And when you set the intention.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think like I've talked about it on several of the episodes about like my anxious attachment.
Yeah.
And that was really a seed of accumulated experiences that just taught me unsafety. Or like if this person is not calling, oh my god,
activation of amygdala.
Val, why aren't you calling me? Why did you say goodnight? Like, oh my gosh. Just not seeing life as it really is. So yes, for me to get to the place where I am now is doing exactly that. Resetting the nervous system.
Yeah.
So yeah, like make the intention start the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think would be the second thing?
I think like interrupting the immediate reaction. So pause. So it's the same thing, but I think what you explained is more like creating the state of mind around this is what I intend to do.
Yeah.
But in terms of the actual everyday actions, it's like every day there will be stimuli. Every day or something will be happening. And it's like making that conscious decision to say, I'm going to, instead of react immediately next time, instead of she says I beat, instead of he says I shout, next time, do. Next time, warogai? Instead of like sending a voice note, like, look, don't send a text message. Silence. Don't defend yourself. Just experience what is happening and leave it at that. Can we agree to that, guys? Because a lot of us have ruined our lives because of feeling that we need to immediately respond to something.
Yeah.
Next time, just do. Stop.
Yeah.
Nothing. Silence.
Yeah.
No immediate reaction. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I would say another way of just aura cleansing is physical movement.
100%.
That is my favorite one. For me to even get to this concept of aura cleansing, it was just an awareness of how it affects the manifestation process. And then like I just made a pact to myself that on an everyday basis, I'm going to, at the end of the day, clear the compound of the day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep with all the things that I've experienced, because you're going to experience the good and the bad in a day, 50-50, both proportions. And it's like, I'm not going to carry this to the next day. So therefore, I need to do an emotional detox of the day that I experienced. So every evening religiously, from the beginning of the year, I walk in the evening.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, and as I walk, I just make that intention that I'm releasing that clutter. I'm releasing anything in my energetic field that shouldn't be here, that has stuck, that has stained, that has stayed a bit too long.
Yeah.
And I literally just walk and I listen to the Louise Hayes, and she's like, clean your aura. You've got a strong mind. And by the time I hit the bed, like sometimes when I've had a really challenging day, when I walk and then just do that, by the time I get home, I'm charged up. My energy bank is gone up. The debt that I was on energetical wise is now paid off.
Yeah.
And then literally now I even have some in my energetical bank to like show up at home, play with my baby, be a present wife, a present friend, a present daughter in the evenings. And I'm like, I wouldn't have had capacity to really finish my day on a high if I didn't move. And you know, the movement is so powerful because emotions manifest in physicality. They're a physical thing in our body.
Yeah.
And when they compound, they create that energetical block.
Yeah.
And a block is a stillness. It's a stagnancy of sorts. So therefore, the body is the extension of the mind. And if the body is the extension of the mind, if I move my body, I'm able to infiltrate my mind through that movement.
Wow, that's
and
powerful.
it detoxes. So I'm like, yo, that one physical movement is such a thing.
I love that. I remember when I started my yoga journey.
Yeah.
And I used to cry so much, guys. Val always laughs at this, but literally, and I didn't understand when I learned exactly what you're saying, that the body is the extension of the mind.
Yeah.
Then you learn that over the years, certain emotions are stored in different organs of your body, and there are certain types of movements, such as yoga, which know how to activate certain parts, certain organs where certain emotions are stored, and hence a particular type of release. And so I found that like when I started yoga, I used to cry so much because there was so much stored emotions that I never addressed. And it was just interesting to feel like, why am I crying? And it's like, to your point about cleansing your aura, the movement. And one of the ways you can definitely do that is yoga. You can share in the comment section what you do to like cleanse your aura. I think another way is separating the fact from the story, because we create the story based on our compounded experiences, and we think it's a fact. You think when somebody's saying X, it's disrespect. You think when somebody fails to do this, it's a lack of attention or a lack of love. You think, I don't know, you think leaders are corrupt. Guys, we think so many things based on previous stories that we have now labeled in our mind as fact. So when things are happening, instead of
emotional stories for that matter.
Emotional
it's
stories,
never neutral stories,
because then when we then do the investigations and we realize that was just propaganda. You're just like, you see, you've been walking around.
1 + 1 was not 2.
You've been walking around with this story in your mind, sharing it as fact, believing it as fact. The investigations reveals there's absolutely no truth to it. But now you're responding to daytime events with the made up story in your mind. How wild that is. I think for me, why I had to like devote myself to emotional regulation and cleansing was realizing that, or like the ego of it all. All this time I thought this person was like this. And imagine misjudging somebody to that level. Or like, this is such a mean person. You know, this person is so inconsiderate. And kind of you then go and tell everybody else. And everybody who doesn't...
tell the story.
You tell the story. And everybody who doesn't experience that person for themselves, now you have a whole army of people who believe whatever it is that you've said about that person. Imagine. And then it's like, wow, the ego of it all. And then now just coming back to, okay, actually, I'm the one who was having a disproportionate response to what this person was doing. I'm the one who never bothered to understand their context and why it is they do the things that they do. And now I'm realizing, when they say this, it's coming from a very innocent place. There's no malice involved. Sometimes it is actually the truth, because maybe I can't even process the truth. You know, they're just telling me objective criticism of, you didn't do this properly. And instead of just accepting that, I'm just creating a narrative in my mind. So just separate the story from the fact. Be objective. Be rational.
You know, use your prefrontal cortex.
Exactly.
But what I'm hearing here from what we've been saying is that there's a common thread. There's a common seed. And the common seed is emotions. So like, I'm even thinking now, based on what you just said, that instead of actually just how do you aura cleanse?
I would
Because
say,
we've been speaking about cleansing.
Yeah.
So it's just now, okay, like how do we not arrive at the point of cleansing? Cleansing is inevitable because we bath every day, so definitely we have to bath our energy. But for me, I'm just thinking from a perspective of how do we even not arrive at that point where our energetic magnetic field is so stained, where we don't have to be cleansing it so immensely, but
Yeah.
we got it and protect it.
I think
Yeah.
it's the same as the cleansing process. I would say pause.
Yeah.
Say power lives in the pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're giving you guys here is the emotional regulation protocol.
Yeah.
To say emotions are such a huge aspect that impact your aura, and ultimately your aura impacts your manifestations. So therefore, this is the emotional regulation protocol to say we're gonna emotionally regulate. First and foremost, pause.
Yeah.
Pause and literally say, I'm not responding immediately. I'm not sending that text. I'm not sending a defensive email. I'm just going to pause and see if I am perceiving this in a way that empowers me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something Belle does a lot. I don't know what to make of this.
And she judges me for it.
No, I love it actually. I've
Now
learned
you love it.
I've learned to love it. I've learned to embrace it as well. Where something happens, it's like, you don't even have to name what's happening immediately.
Yeah.
It's okay to be like, I saw the things happen, but I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was anger. I don't know if that was malice. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this.
Yeah.
I think it's a very healthy way to sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, and a lot of the times, we struggle because we name something immediately when there are infinite realities of or reasons or perspectives.
Yeah.
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 So pause. Yeah. What's the second one?
The second one is identify the primary emotion. And the primary emotion wouldn't be like what you are feeling or sensationalized by at that current moment. The primary emotion would be, oh my God, right now this person said this, or I'm so angry, or this person said this thing of mine is not nice, I'm so angry. But then it's just like, maybe anger is a secondary emotion.
Yeah.
What's the first primary emotion, and what is it about that emotion is activating so much in you?
Such anger in you.
Yes, because it could be vulnerability. It could be like, oh, actually, I'm very insecure about this thing. And then somebody comes and then like points out something that you personally are insecure about it. And instead of being like, oh my God, I feel vulnerable, they see me, you become angry because your ego kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because naming the emotion reduces, from a very honest place, reduces the amygdala activation.
Yeah.
Because if the ego is like naming the emotion in a negative way, then it activates the amygdala to the extreme.
Yeah.
But if you name it to the truth of what it is, that I feel vulnerable at the moment, then the response is at least a bit more measured because you're not activating danger within your nervous system.
Yeah. And I think from that place, then you can do the third thing, which is to be objective.
Yeah.
Objectivity is usually related to how centered you are. It's difficult to be objective when you're in an emotional state.
Yeah.
So once you have identified the primary emotion and you have calmed down a little bit, then it opens up your focus to like different ideas.
Yeah.
That's why they say don't make decisions when you're in an emotional state, because your perspective is very narrow at the moment.
When emotions are high, intelligence is
Thank
low.
you. That's the thing that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So that's when you can then separate the story from the fact to say,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm calm. I can see and appreciate different perspectives. What's really happening here? What is the fact? What has objectively happened? What story am I adding? What am I projecting? You kind of do like a cognitive exercise within yourself.
Yes.
Until you can then you can now do the naming thing and identify actually, objectively speaking, considering different realities, different propositions, different factors, this is actually what is happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think the next one is like somatic release. Move, breathe deeply, cold shower, journal, pray, sweat. if you don't move it through the body, it stays in the body. So just find a way to move it out. I already just spoke about the physical component of walking, but you can create movement within the body of that emotion in different ways. And journaling is such a powerful way. Praying is such a powerful way. A cold shower is such a powerful way.
Yeah. And then, conscious release. I know we always think these people are being dramatic, but I release.
Yeah.
I let this be. This is no longer part of who I am. This is who I am becoming.
Yeah.
Just release it spiritually, say it consciously, and just release it so that there's just that pause. That's the power of prayer, power of meditation, power of affirmations.
Yeah.
Just release.
So what's the hard truth?
Guys, we're addicted to these emotions. That's the truth. That's what's hard.
Yeah.
We're addicted. We love it. We love gossip. We love drama.
Emotional intensity.
We just love it.
Yeah.
This is why we're addicted to reality shows. This is why instead of the truth reigning, it's always the lie that always supersedes.
Yeah.
Because the lie is juicier. And, it's just, I don't know. We were just wired for intensity in that way. I guess I blame Hollywood as well. But the hard truth is that sometimes the reason we're able to move from, that place of dysregulated emotions, overreaction, hypersensitivity is because we're addicted to cortisol. We're addicted to stress.
It is quite addictive though.
Yeah.
And that addiction ends up staining our life. So we need to ask ourselves, like, what emotional event are we continuously rehearsing? Who are we energetically arguing with in our self-conversations?
For shame.
And what memory still triggers a physical reaction? You know,
Yeah.
somebody will be like, oh, something happened to me in my childhood, and then now something is happening in your adulthood and it triggers a physical reaction. And how much of your present is filtered through your old residue? Emotional discipline is a very good way of aura protection. And aura cleansing is not about mysticism at all. It's just about responsibility. Do you have emotional responsibility within you? Emotional regulation is not suppression, and I'm guilty of this one. No, it doesn't mean because you can keep your emotions in you, doesn't mean that you are regulated. Emotional regulation is power. It is simply power.
Yeah.
And if you don't clean your atmosphere, you would start to believe the fog in the sky. And it will be gray and just, like British weather.
Not British weather catching strays.
But we're out here in Africa where it's sunny and beautiful. Like how you are going to be when you learn how to emotionally regulate and clean your aura, because what? You are a very responsible individual. My name is Balsa Abo Ame.
I am Shatani Sumalekai,
The
the Sapiosexual Platter.